And again, oh, I'm sorry, someone said that my voice isn't very loud. I have a bit of a sore throat, so I will try to get closer to the microphone. So welcome everybody to our Eclipse pre-application webinar. As I said earlier, I see a few more of you have mentioned. Please feel free to utilize that chat window if you have any questions for us. I will be keeping everyone muted until the end. If anyone has a complicated question, I'll unmute you, but with this many people, I'd like to just keep the lines clear if you don't all mind. Excuse me, I'll try not to do that the entire webinar. If at any point during this webinar you do have trouble with your audio, go ahead and click the communicate button up at the top of your screen, and then either click reconnect to audio or test audio, and that should get you back on. If you get kicked out of the webinar, same thing, you should be able to follow the same link right back in here, but you will need to reconnect your audio. It won't automatically reconnect. That seems to be a problem, especially if you're using a headset. So please keep that in mind if you are having any audio problems. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. We're at a minute past here. So Eclipse pre-application webinar, the funding for this project is from NASA, the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation, Google, and the Research Corporation for Science Advancement. This is a product of the STAR Library Education Network, which is our library program here at the Space Science Institute. So just a really quick agenda for you guys today. This is going to be a pretty chill webinar. We're not going to be super formal today. I'm hoping it goes quick and we can get all your great questions answered. We've already done the introductions. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this opportunity to get these Eclipse glasses and the Eclipse glasses kit. We'll go through the actual application questions, and then we'll get to you guys' questions. I do notice that I see a few of you attending who have already completed the application. If you have completed your application, you do not need to be on this webinar. Unless you're hoping to get good programming ideas, then that's fine. You can stay put. I just didn't want anyone to think they needed to be here if they've already completed that application. All right, so this opportunity. So like I said, funding for this is provided by NASA, Gordon and Betty Moore, Google, and the Research Corporation. This funding is allowing us to provide libraries with over 2 million free Eclipse glasses kits. This will go to up to 2,400 libraries across the country. That's how many kits we have. Based on how many of you are applying as systems, it looks like we're going to get thousands and thousands of libraries benefiting from this opportunity, which is absolutely fantastic. These Eclipse glasses that you guys are applying for will include either 200 or 1,000 pairs of glasses. This is something that you choose at the application. One Eclipse on a Stick activity with instructions to make more. This is from the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. As well as an educational booklet and other relevant handouts created by our Eclipse project team. So the team is us here at the Space Science Institute, myself, Kellyanne, and Paul Duesenberry, who I do not believe is on the line right now. That Eclipse educational booklet was created by Andrew Fracknoy, Doug Duncan, and Dennis Schatz, who are also members of our team. The application for this opportunity is going to close on May 1st. So you do still have plenty of time. We are limited in the number of kits we can give out, but at this point I think I've committed maybe a third of them, so please do not stress yourself out too much. When we go through the application here in a minute, you will see that there is a publicity requirement. I know many of you probably don't have your publicity for August ready yet. That is not a problem. If you're not going to have your publicity ready before that May 1st deadline, you can just go ahead and make a note in your application that you'll be sending me that information when it's ready. Again, just pointing that out. We want to make this as easy as possible for everyone to apply, and we don't want anyone to miss out because you have a weird website deadline or things like that. We are very flexible, and certainly if there's other things you're having issues with in that application, just contact me and we can get it dealt with. This webinar, these slides will be posted on our website tomorrow, so I've included a link to the application there, but it's really easy to find on our website. I see a couple people saying that they're having sound issues. Can a couple people just type in the box and assure me that the rest of you can hear me? And I will help that person. Oh, great. Okay, it looks like everyone can hear me but that person, so I just sent her some instructions. Hopefully that gets settled. If not, and if anyone else does lose that connection during this, again, we will be posting all of this online for you tomorrow, so you'll be able to hear anything that you missed. So as I mentioned, about 700 applications have been approved, and I've got about 250 more patiently waiting at my desk for me to look at. This represents almost 4,000 branches. So for those of you who are new to this opportunity, we are encouraging both systems and branches to apply. The reason we've got so many branches represented is because a lot of smaller systems, just one branch, or the main branch likely, is applying. If you've got a 15-branch system and all 15 of you want 1,000 glasses, you can absolutely do that. There's nothing saying that you can't all apply individually. So please, I would encourage you to do that. This map that you see on here shows all of the libraries and library systems that have indicated interest in participating in this program. So these are people who are either going to apply to get our glasses kits, or who are at least going to be doing some programming, even if we're not going to be involved. That blue line that you guys see going across the screen, that's actually the path of totality. A lot of other efforts across the country are focused just on that tiny little line. We're focused on all of you, so if you're on the path, great. I hope you ask for 1,000 glasses. You'll need them. If you're off the path, that's great too. We're going to be providing you guys with all kinds of great opportunities to stream, to live stream the Eclipse from other locations, hands-on activities you can do, all kinds of great stuff. So please take a look at this map and note that if you're not on the path, it does not mean that you should not be participating. We hope that you do, and we've got glasses ready for you. Kellyanne, thank you for for describing all of these words. I'm just throwing out there and hoping everybody understands. All right, so let's get right into the application questions. I know a lot of you are probably going to be wanting to hear a little bit more about all those opportunities we're going to provide. Maybe you've got questions about what is Annie talking about when she says path of totality. If you've got those questions, again, go ahead and put them in the chat box, and we'll have more of an open forum here at the end. I just want to get through these more nitty-gritty things for the people who've been involved for a while and really just want to see some of this up close. So let's go quickly through these application questions. You can get a PDF copy of these on our website if you want to take a look at them without actually clicking into the application. I mention that because once you click into the application, you do need to finish your application in one sitting. You can't save it and come back, so you'll probably want to look at that PDF so that you can write out some of your short responses. Also, if you click into that application and just put X's and try to get through it so you can see all the questions, it won't let you back in. It only lets you in once per device. So you don't want to do that. You'll want to look at the PDF to get all of that information before you start your application. Thank you, Kellyanne. This is nice having two people. So the first bit of questions here is just the contact information and your library's website. This is very important. The contact information and the website that you put here is what's going to be on that map that I showed you a few slides back. That map is very important. We are partnered with a couple different NASA and professional organizations who are looking to help libraries either during or before this Eclipse event. So if your library is featured on that map and a solar system ambassador or a NASA engineer from your region is looking for someone to partner with, they'll go click on there, email you, and voila, you have a lovely partner to help you with your programming. So please make sure that that information is all correct and that the email address you put there is in fact the one that you want people to contact. It does not have to be a person. If you want that info to go to your info@ email address, that's absolutely fine as well. Just make sure it's the email address that you want to be publicly posted on that site. So the next part of the application then, we're going to ask you if your shipping address is different than your physical address. Again, this is very important. We need your physical address for that map, but we need your shipping address to actually get you the glasses so that those don't get shipped back to the factory when no one is there to pick them up. So do make sure that that information is correct, and we will be double checking it on our end as well. We really don't want to have to be checking anybody down after the fact. All right. So now to the meaty, sorry, there's posters falling down in the room I'm sitting in. Someone just asked, I'll answer this question really quick. Someone asked, is a post office box good for a shipping address? That's absolutely fine. If for some reason the factory that's shipping you your glasses won't do a P.O. box, we'll ask you later. So if that's your shipping address, please do include that. That's fine. So our first real question here, describe in a paragraph what public events your library plans to do in the months and weeks leading up to the Eclipse and on Eclipse Day. Again, a paragraph is fine. Some previous applicants gave me pages and pages, and while I love reading them, please don't do that to yourself if you don't want to. Just a couple sentences about who will be invited to these events, what exactly you'll be doing. That's really all I need. The important thing here is leading up to the Eclipse and on Eclipse Day. So that indicates at least 2 programs, preferably more. The idea is you might have a safe viewing program a couple weeks before the Eclipse, and then on Eclipse Day have some hands-on programming and actually watch what's happening. If for some reason you are one of those many, many libraries that's not open on Monday, that is okay. You can still participate. The way you can participate is either, if you've got another branch that's open on Monday, that would be best. But if you could have a representative from your library as kind of the information specialist about the Eclipse, go to someone else's event, be it at a school, people are having events like in big soccer stadiums, whatever. As long as the library has representation at an event, that does count as an Eclipse Day event. So I'm hoping that's not going to disclude anybody. If you have any questions about that, again, please do email me. We're hoping to be flexible on these requirements. Question number 6, provide a direct web link to your library's homepage, events calendar, a newspaper article, or other website that demonstrates that your events are being publicly promoted. I know this has been problematic for people. A lot of you can't post your August plans yet. If that's the case, I would really encourage you to go ahead and mock up what you're planning on posting and putting it on Facebook, where you have a little bit more flexibility. If you can link me to your Facebook page and then just let me know that the other stuff will be up in June or July or whenever it's up, you will be approved. Again, we're not being super stringent here. We're just wanting to see that people are actually thinking about this and making their plans ahead of time. Number 7 is optional. Upload publicity materials that SARNet may feature on our website. I'll show you some of those that have been uploaded in a minute here. Again, these are just so that we can grab these and put them up for, smaller, newer libraries to the STEM scene who might not know how they should be promoting this event. We want to give them some good examples that aren't just ours, that are something that libraries have actually done. So again, that's completely optional. Not doing that won't affect your application. But if you've got something already, we'd love to see it. If you develop something after you've submitted your application, again, you can just email that to me so that I have it. That'd be great. The number 8 here, super, super important. This is picking whether or not you want 200 or 1,000 pairs of glasses. Either way, you'll still be getting the whole kit, which has that Eclipse on a stick as well as the paper materials, but we do need to know whether you want 200 or 1,000. This is my opportunity to say all of you are way too nice. All of the applications I've already approved, almost everybody picked 200. And then when I told them if they wanted, they could really have 1,000, they all said, oh, I didn't want to be greedy, so I just asked for 200. You're not being greedy. We're planning on more people asking for 1,000 than for 200. So if you think you need 1,000, please do ask for them now so that I don't have to do more work later of changing it. People did ask in the first round of the application if they needed to pass out all those glasses on Eclipse Day. Absolutely not. You can pass them out beforehand at safe viewing events. You can partner with a school. If you've got a tiny little town, but you've got a school that you want to work closely with, I do not care if most of those glasses are passed out to those school kids. As long as the library is the one providing them with the safe viewing sources, that is absolutely fine and part of our intent. So please do feel free to do that. Number 9, community type. That's a little drop down. Apologies if your community type isn't properly represented. We did as best as we could. This is really helpful information for our funders. Our goal is to hit a lot of rural, small, or elsewise underserved regions in the country, as you saw from our map. We definitely feel like we're doing that, but seeing how you guys self-identify is also helpful. Again, the way you answer this question does not at all affect your application. It's just for information purposes. Whew, sorry, my voice is trying to leave here. Lastly, these are all the check boxes that if you do not check yes, I will not look at your application. So please read all of these and check yes. So number 10, you're agreeing to host those 2 public events at least that I was telling you about from the applications I've approved so far. People are ranging anywhere from 2 to 20 events. Don't feel like you need 20, but if you've got them, that's great. If they're spread between multiple branches, again, that's fine. So if you're going to apply as a system instead of as an individual branch, these events can be spread over multiple branches if that's going to be the best way for you to do that. If you are applying as a single branch, the events must either both be at your location or staff from your branch must be at the Eclipse Day event if you're not open on that Monday. Number 11, our library will make an effort to include people who are underrepresented in STEM, examples African Americans, Latinos, economically disadvantaged, people with disabilities, and women and girls. All that is to say, like I said, our funders are looking for us to, reach beyond the choir here. So we just want you guys to acknowledge that you're going to be promoting the events to these people, your libraries. We know you do that, so just click yes. Number 12, I agree that glasses provided by this program will be distributed free of charge. This is a very important one. The glasses that we've received with this funding from NASA, Gordon and Betty Moore, Google, and the Research Corporation, all those glasses need to be handed out for free. You cannot resell them. There is a link on our website if you want to purchase additional glasses to sell on the day of the event. You can certainly do that. We don't have any problem with that. If you are confused which glasses in your possession can be sold and which one can't, the ones that have the StarNet and NASA at My Library logo on them will be the ones we sent that can't be shipped. The plain looking ones that you can order from that link on our website will be the ones that you can sell. So again, if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me and I can clarify that further. Number 13 is very important. When you go to the Eclipse application FAQ, before you go and click through the questions, there'll be this link to the Safe Viewing Methods Guide. We just want you to look at that beforehand so that you know what we're hoping or what you are required, I guess, information to share with your patrons if you're going to be having a viewing event. It's pretty easy to follow, but again, please look at that before you click that yes. Number 14, I agree to complete a post-event survey that will be made available after August 21st. So what we'll do with that, again, I can't hold you to it, but you're clicking yes and you're friendly librarians, so I'm sure you'll all do it. We will post a survey on SurveyMonkey, very similar in length to the application, and just ask you to give us any pictures, any cool quotes, just nice things that we can share with our funders. So hopefully in the future we can do other events like this. This is really, I think, the biggest event that we've done with libraries. So we're really hoping to show everyone that we can do it, that you guys can do it, and that it's been very successful. Number 15, I understand that there are limited quantities of kits available and that this opportunity is first come, first accepted. If you guys are on the webinar and you're going to be doing your application anytime in the next month, you don't worry, you'll get your glasses. We've got plenty right now. Please don't wait till the last minute though. If you can get this done in the next couple of weeks, I would feel better. We will be posting both on our website and in our newsletter when we start getting close to that limit, so you'll know when you have to kind of kick yourselves in gear. But right now, we still have plenty. Just again, don't delay. All right, so as promised, here are some publicity examples that I've pulled from some of the accepted applications. So as you can see, some libraries are planning on having quite a few events. Some people just have a very simple poster where they've used some of the great images that we've provided on our website. There is no real minimum here except that we need you to post these things publicly for people to see so that they can get to your event. So if you are doing your publicity in Word and you don't have any fancy programs, that's fine. If you have a marketing department who's doing everything super fancy and it's already on your website, that's fine too. I am not grading you on the quality or the quantity of your publicity. I just want to make sure that you're already planning. That is all that I am looking for. All right, so I've just got a couple of URLs on here before we get to any questions you guys have. So starnetlibraries.org/2017 Eclipse is where you're going to go to find all of this great information on, one, how you can prepare for the Eclipse, how you can fill out this application, and then after the Eclipse, what to do once you've finished. My email is right there too when you have any questions. And just a quick pitch, unfortunately the website was down earlier, so I don't have a nice screenshot for you. But we do have our other program, which is a much more competitive application process. NASA at My Library is available right now on the ALA site. I believe it also closes on May 1st. Kellyanne can correct me if I'm wrong there. I couldn't get to the website to check. So please do also check that out. That is a larger kit program that's going to just 75 libraries across the country. So definitely check that out. If you only want to do one application, I would encourage you to do the Eclipse Glasses one because that is the one that you'll all get accepted for. Oh, thank you, Kellyanne. 3/20. Oh my gosh, I was just saying random dates in my head. That's the day we were going to approve them. So March 22nd, sorry, is when this other application program is due. Excuse me. So, Kellyanne, have you been gathering questions? Did you want to start going through those? Oh dear.
Well, Colleen has a great question. Are there two applications, one for the glasses and one for the kits? So maybe would you like to just reiterate about the NASA at My Library partner application?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was hesitant to even bring it up because I didn't want to confuse things. So what this webinar here is for the Eclipse kits. So with the glasses, we are calling that a kit. So that is the Eclipse glasses, the Eclipse on a stick, and some paper materials. That is this webinar program, the link that I gave you earlier. The second, NASA at My Library kit, those are much more substantial STEM facilitation kits that include things like telescopes and microscopes and books, all kinds of fun things like that. That is an entirely separate program. ALA is running the application on that one at that URL that's currently at the bottom of the page.
And Anne, could you please go over just the requirements? We've got a question here about, can school libraries apply?
Excellent question. Yeah, so right now, because of our funding sources, this opportunity is, again, I say right now, limited to public libraries. If you are a school library that wants to partner with a public library and they submit the application, they would be able to work with you that way. Otherwise, after May 1st, we are going to consider, if we've got extra glasses, opening this opportunity up to other groups. So what I would encourage you to do is either partner with that neighborhood public library, or wait until May 15th or so and drop me an email and let me know if you're still interested, and we can see if we have any extra glasses lying around. Very good question.
Another question to follow up on NASA at My Library, the sort of mega kits that Anne mentioned.
Yep.
Are you still eligible for a STEM facilitation kit, even if your library is selected for the glasses?
Absolutely. Totally separate process.
And when can we start sending information on this event to our patrons?
You can right now, if you go ahead and turn in your application, say in the next couple weeks, please start sharing that information with your patrons. You will be getting the kits if you get your application in the next few weeks. We've still got plenty of spots left. And again, part of the application does require that you've started to put this publicity info out there. So I know kind of a quid pro quo there, but yes, please do start sharing that information.
And I think it might be good to go again over the idea of being open or having some program or supporting a program on the day of the eclipse and some philosophy around that. We have another question about being open on that day.
Absolutely. So yeah, we realize that there are many libraries that are not open on Mondays, and unfortunately I could not tell the Eclipse to move, or I would have. Unfortunately, our requirement here is that you will be having some sort of program on Eclipse Day. So that will either require you to decide to be open that day for a few hours, or if you are a multi-branch system and any of your branches is open, you could send staff to that other branch to do the programming. If you have another community organization who is doing programming on Eclipse Day and the library sent a representative, that would also still count as having a program on Eclipse Day. I realize that that is still vague. If people have specific questions, if you want to ask me, I plan on doing this on Eclipse Day, even though my branch is closed, again, please just send me an email, and it might be easier to answer those individually. We are trying to get this to be available to as many people as possible while still fulfilling that requirement to have Eclipse Day events.
And we've got another application question, and I'll go back to another kind of general Eclipse-related question.
Okay.
So is there a way to check to see which kit you have applied to? I applied to this one and then received an email asking to fill out a second part of the application.
That is a very good question, and I should have mentioned that earlier. So if you guys look at the FAQ, there is a very random message up at the top saying, step 1 is closed. This is where you apply now. So what this person's referring to, if it's the message I'm reading right here, there was a kind of pre-application gathering of contact info that we did to get an idea of how many libraries were going to participate so that we knew if we would need to go to people like Google and Research Corporation for extra funding, which in fact we did. So that was just a registration process. In that one, we just gathered people's contact info, name, email, excuse me, and street location for that. That was just registration. Now there is a full application open, which is all those questions we just walked through. So if you have not answered all those questions I just walked through, you still need to do that process. Excuse me, I'm trying not to choke here. You still need to do that process. And then if you have done that process, but you cannot remember if you asked for 200 or 1,000 glasses, just email me and I can do a search on that one really quick. I hope that may have answered that question.
All right, seeing just another question too about the application before we go back to the Eclipse question. So
yes.
What is the deadline for the application?
Sorry, this deadline is May 1st.
And just to reiterate, that NASA at My Library partner application that's being run through the ALA Public Programs Office is due on March 22nd.
Yes, thank you. Ignore things I said earlier in the recording.
It's okay. You went back. Another question. I was applied and approved, but unable to print out a copy of what I submitted. Not sure I completed all of the questions. Can I verify what I sent in?
I can, yes, if you email me, I can certainly send you a copy, but if you have been approved, then it means that you answered all of the questions.
All right, and I'm going to go back. I think I caught all the application questions, but I'll do another scan, and please, if you've done another application-related question, please do enter it in the chat. We had a question about the webinar, the Eclipse itself and what time frame it is.
That is a very good question. So if you go to our website and go to the Eclipse Resource Center, there's actually a lovely website that you can click on that lets you put your zip code in, and it will tell you what time either you're in totality or what time the partial eclipse starts at your location. It's pretty much an all-day event depending on which part of the country you're in, starting over on the west coast, moving off to the east. So I don't want to give anyone a specific time because it will be different for all of you. Very good question. And let me see, while Kellyanne's getting the next question, I'll actually get that link and put it in the chat for you guys. Oops, maybe.
And was it the Xavier one?
It was, yes.
Okay, that's what I just popped into the chat.
Oh, perfect. You're like on the same page.
That's right.
There it is.
So please do, it's a little overwhelming, but it's so thorough and an amazing resource. So please do, persevere there and try to just play with that, that interactive Google map to see where the eclipse times are for your area.
Do make sure, because I have seen some people get a little lost on it, it will give you the items in universal time, so you'll either need to convert yourself or find there's a little toggle where you can get your local time too, but it's not the first thing that you're given. If you don't know what universal time is, that's why you need to Google it.
Well, we could all just convert to universal time and we wouldn't have to translate.
That would be easiest.
So we get another question about when we will know if we have been approved.
Absolutely. So I've sent out the first round of approvals last week. So if you got your application in before February 28th, you should have already heard. If you got your application in before then and you have not heard from me personally, email me and I will figure out what went wrong. For everybody else, I'm doing them in about batches of 50 every Friday. I was out of town last week, so now I'm 100 behind. So typically within probably 2 weeks of submitting your application, you'll hear. It does not bother me if you want to email me and double check. Sometimes things get lost. It's totally fine to check with me and I'll check on it for you.
All right, I believe we've addressed all of the questions in the chat. Unless I've missed any, please do give a shout out if I've missed any questions.
All right, so we're going to stay on for just a second. If anyone else comes up with any other questions, this was obviously a quick and dirty, this is how you do the application webinar. We didn't go too much into the resources available to you or the science behind the Eclipse because we've already had those webinars. So if you go to the StarNet Library site under resources and webinars, there are, archived versions of all of those other Eclipse-related webinars. Those are all very timely still, even if they're a few months old. It's, again, the resources that are available to you as well as the science behind the event. So please do check those out. So someone just asked, will there be a place where libraries provide, activities planned beside the viewing of the eclipse on Eclipse Day? That's a very good question. What I'm thinking we might want to do, Kelly, and correct me if you have a better idea, is either set up a forum or maybe just a blog post that people can comment on and kind of share all of those links to their programming so that everybody else can see it. It's great. I've seen them all now, but we do want everybody else to be able to view them as well. So we will get something set up and we'll put whatever that is in the next Eclipse newsletter so that you can find it.
And also, I'm wondering if perhaps you're looking for just some hands-on activities and like ideas of things to do other than viewing, of course. So I'm going to put a link into our clearinghouse collection all about the solar eclipse. So there's an idea in there about making a pinhole projector just to help everybody view the eclipse safely. It's a quick and dirty, really inexpensive way to avoid needing solar viewing glasses for everyone. It's a safe way to view it. There's also things like if you just want to have everybody play with, well, what's the sun made of? Like, what are the different parts of the sun? What are we going to see? So you might want to make solar cupcakes or sun cookies. You might want to do a scale model of, if you pretend to shrink down the Earth and the moon, what size would they be compared to each other? So there's a bunch of ideas on our StarNet Clearinghouse if you'd like to check those out. And Anne, I'm seeing now too a question about having a link to the eclipse in case of rain.
Yes, that is a great question. So right now I know of at least 8 or 9 or 10 science centers who are on the path of totality who plan on live streaming the event. I also just learned of an event going on at the Smithsonian. They're going to be actually live streaming some of their hands-on activities in the hours before the eclipse, which means if you're wanting to do those hands-on activities and maybe you've not done them before, what they're going to be doing is having their facilitators kind of walk people through the instructions, and then doing them live so that you guys who might not have done this kind of programming before can do it with the Smithsonian, which I think is absolutely amazing. So all of that information will be on our Eclipse Resource Center as those links become available.
And I'm going to go ahead and put a post up there too, just on a related note. NASA has definitely been very active in trying to put together resources and do things like live streaming. So there's, for your reference, a direct link to their website as well.
Oh, and somebody shared a link, but they only sent it to me, so I'm just going to copy it really quick It's another one where you can see when the eclipse is happening, where you're at. It's not as detailed, but I do think it converts to local time easier, so that was a good one to share. Thank you.
And just real quick, I did post a link to the next Eclipse-related webinar that we're going to be offering, which will be in April. And we're going to be covering several hands-on activities. If you'd like to join us, just posted the link to go ahead and register for that using the password STAR. Thanks, Melissa, for hunting that down. So please do join us on April 26th. That'll be at our regular 1 p.m. Mountain Time slot for our webinar. So we'd love to have you there if you can join us.
Excellent. All right, so if there aren't any further questions, I think we'll go ahead and end. Again, feel free to email myself or Kellyanne if you have any other questions or if you want to kind of walk through your programming. I know a lot of libraries, this is really the first thing they're going to be doing STEM-wise, so we're also more than happy to set up a call if you want to talk through your plans a little bit more. So again, thank you. Sorry, my throat is gone. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. These slides, as well as the recording, will be posted probably this afternoon, but definitely by tomorrow morning if you need to share this with anybody else on your team. Everybody have a great day, and thank you, Kellyanne, for helping MC.
Not a problem. Happy to help.
All right, have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.